welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I am going to be sharing an easy keto dessert recipe. I am going to be making easy keto-friendly raspberry cheesecake bars. This recipe is an awesome way to incorporate those delicious summer raspberries into a fabulous keto dessert. It is a very simple and easy recipe to throw together, so just about anyone should be able to make this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into this recipe. The first thing I'm going to do is preheat my oven to 350 degrees. Now, there are 3 parts to this recipe. So first we are going to make the crust, then we're going to make the filling, and then we're gonna make the raspberry swirl that goes on top. So let's start with the crust. For the crust, I am going to grab a small to medium-sized mixing bowl. To the bowl, I am going to add 6 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 cups of finely ground almond flour, and 1/3 of a cup of erythritol sweetener. For this recipe, I am using the Swerve granulated erythritol. And now mix this until it's well combined. Now that my crust is mixed well, I am going to go ahead and grab my baking dish. Today, I am going to be using an 8x8 square pan that I have lined with non-stick aluminum foil. However, parchment paper works just as well. For this recipe, if you want a thicker crust, you can do the 8x8 square pan. If you like your cheesecake crust a little bit thinner, I would size up to a 9x9 pan. Now I'm going to add my crust into my baking dish. Using my freshly washed clean hands, I am just going to press this crust down into the very bottom of this pan. Now that I've got my crust pressed into the bottom of this baking dish, what I'm going to do is place it into a 350 degree oven for roughly 8 to 10 minutes or until the crust gets a light golden brown color. Now that the crust is in the oven, let's move on to the cheesecake filling. For the filling, you're going to need a large mixing bowl. I am going to add 16 ounces or 2 blocks of cream cheese, 2 large eggs, a half of a cup of granulated erythritol, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and a half teaspoon of vanilla extract. And now I am going to take a hand mixer and mix this until it is totally combined. My cheesecake filling is nice and mixed up, so I'm just going to set this aside for a minute and we'll come back to it in a sec. I just pulled my crust out of the oven after about 12 minutes, and as you can see, the edges are getting a light golden brown color, which is exactly what we're looking for. So I am going to set this aside, let it cool for a few minutes, and let's go work on that raspberry filling. For the raspberry swirl part of this cheesecake, you're gonna need a small little bowl. And to that bowl, you're going to add a half of a cup of fresh or frozen raspberries and 1 tablespoon of granulated erythritol. And now I'm just gonna grab a fork and start mashing the crap out of these raspberries. You can totally do this in a little blender, mash them up into a really good puree, but I am too lazy to pull out my blender and dirty it up just to smush some raspberries, and I think this does the trick just as well. I've let my crust cool for a couple of minutes, so now I am going to take our cheesecake filling that we prepared and just plop it over the top and spread it evenly. Now that I've spread out the cheesecake filling evenly in the baking dish, I am going to grab our raspberry swirl filling that we just made and just drop spoonfuls all over the top of this cheesecake. And now use a knife to just gently swirl this raspberry filling around and make it that pretty marbled look. And the final step is to take our cheesecake and place it back into our 350-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes or until it is totally set. I pulled my cheesecake out of the oven when it was set and fully cooked. How I know when it is done is you can start seeing little cracks in the cheesecake, and that is when I know it is fully cooked and totally set. Once I pulled it out of the oven, I let it cool on the counter for about an hour. Then I stuck it in the refrigerator for like 2 hours or so. Let it chill so I can slice it. So I'm about to grab a knife, cut it up, and let's check it out. I made the executive decision to cut mine into 16 pieces just so that the calories per slice were smaller. So now I'm just gonna store these in an airtight container, and they should be good for probably about 5 days. Or if you have a party or something, this would be a great thing to serve. Okay, it is taste test time, and I have someone who has been waiting very patiently to try this recipe.
Very impatiently.
Yeah, very impatiently. Catherine, when's that cheesecake gonna be done? Is it gonna be done anytime soon? So I recruited him to do a taste test with me. So let's grab yourself a piece. You've been waiting for this for so long.
I don't know which one. I want a corner, middle, just an edge, you know.
We're gonna give it a taste test. See how it is.
All right, going for this one. Hope I don't regret it.
All right, ready? Cheers. Cheers. Let's give it a try. That's really good. Oh my golly, I love cheesecake so much.
I'm glad you made 16 servings for tonight.
Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this delicious, easy, keto-friendly raspberry cheesecake bar recipe. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't done so. And I will see y'all again real soon with another video. Bye, guys.